What is going on, guys? Joey here. I got a new phone, and the headphones that I used to use, it doesn't work anymore. So I'm talking to you guys on a walk on a nice Thursday here in Los Angeles. So hopefully you guys can hear me okay. You might hear a little bit of wind, a couple birds in the background, but it's a really nice day out. And I was like, you know what? I need to talk to the people while we get on this walk. So today I wanted to talk about a little bit of the phenomena that is SBD 6 times a week. For those of you that don't know, there's a lifter by the name of Agata Sitko. I may have said that wrong. I'm really sorry if I did. She's Polish, and I've actually known about her for a couple years, and I heard many years ago that she does SBD 6 times per week, and she's really young. I think she's like 20, maybe 20, 21. She won Sheffield by a lot. And she does SBD 6 times per week. Now, I've never spoken to her. I don't know too much about her other than like that and what I've seen in interviews. But I posted her in my story, and there were a bunch of people that were like, what the heck, man? So I wanted to make this video to kind of talk about it a little bit, talk about the origins of such and how it could practically work. Now, to answer the question out there, yeah, it could work. You could do SBD 6 times per week. And I'm going to try to map it out a little bit so you guys can get a better idea and just kind of let you know how I think it might go. And some background. So I do know that she has a equipped lifting background, and a lot of times in equipped lifting, just suiting up and practicing is really important. And with a lot of frequency, that's exactly what you're doing. Sometimes, it's not practical to do reps in your gear, so you need more frequency, right? You need to do more reps somehow. And one way to do that is to just do it more frequently. Now, there's so many different variables that go into that. You can get chewed up by your equipment, all that stuff. I don't know anything about gear. I truly believe that it exists in some niches, but after certain generations go, and we might see this with the World Games, Raw might just be the thing, and there might just not be, any more equipped lifting, but who knows, right? I'm sure there's a lot of obscure things out there that survive because people enjoy them. So that's one place where it could have came from. Also, weightlifting, Olympic weightlifting, many years ago. Honestly, probably like 10 years ago now. I used to work with this lifter whose name I don't even remember. Johnny Candido might know. If I see Johnny, he might know. Damian Pizzuti, that was the name. And he had a weightlifting background. He had a crazy squat. He would squat like multiple times per day. Sometimes he had a gym in his, where he worked. He just worked at a gym all day, and he was able to do it multiple times. And I remember seeing the programming and thinking about the programming. And I know that weightlifters, they would take specificity to a whole nother level, right? They would just be hitting that high bar squat in the morning, hitting it at night, varying intensities, and really just trying to hone in and focus in on generating the majority of their work through the 1 rep max, right? Just to kind of build the legs and really practice that movement. It's interesting because the high bar squat is not it is a part of weightlifting, but it's not a comp lift. They have different, they're doing different things. Clean and jerk, snatch, all that stuff. So it does come from Olympic weightlifting, and there are Olympic weightlifters that have done it before. So it's it can work. One of these days, I'm going to do a video and just let you guys know that literally anything can work. Anything. If you told me you could only progress a lifter on triples, I would do it, right? Because I understand training and I know what boxes need to be ticked and what needs to be done in order to do something like that, right? So going back to Agata's program, how might this lay out, right? Let's use some rep ranges that we might use in powerlifting. Let's go with 6, 4, 2, okay? You have one day of the week you're hitting sets of 6, 2 to 3 sets. Another day, sets of 4, 3 to 4 sets. Another day, sets of 2, 3 to 4 sets, 4 to 5 sets, something like that, right? That's going to be your baseline. You can slap percentages on there. You could have RPE on there, whatever works for you, right? Just to give you guys an example, let's go RPE, like let's just go 6, 7, 8. RPE 6 the first day, 7 the next day, 8 the next day, right? Boom, those are your 3 days. Now you have 3 other days, right? Let's say, and you can do this however you want. It doesn't have to be, a lot of the time when, especially like when I'm doing my workshops, there's, I'm giving people examples of programming and I'll give an example and they think that like, that's how it's gotta be. It's gotta be exactly like that. That's not the case at all. In the workshops, I go into what you're looking for to, get the results out of your programming. And I think as long as you're hitting certain markers, again, you can make anything work. Now with crazy high 6 times a week frequency, let's say you wanted to really maximize your practice. Now you got to have super good form to do this, right? Let's say you have perfect form. You're hitting the 6, 4, 2. I say 6, 4, 2. Yeah, 6, 4, 2, right? Now we want to add some other stuff on the other days. And we're going to work with like literally 40%, 50%, and then 55 to 60%. And you're going to slap those in between your other days. You can have your RPE 6 day where you're focusing on, your sets of 6. You're building your volume that way. Then you're coming in the next day and you're hitting, maybe you're hitting a 3x3 and you're doing it with 60%. You're going in, you're practicing, boom, hitting your 3x3, 60% done. Coming in the next day, you're hitting your 3 sets of 4. Now you're on RPE 7. Boom, hit that. Coming in the day after, maybe you're hitting some light sets of 5, right? Light sets of 5, like literally 2 to 3 sets. Or you're doing more triples, right? It could be triples, it could be doubles. You could keep everything 3 reps and below, right? I'll just do that to keep it simple. Maybe you're hitting doubles now. Maybe you're hitting 5 doubles. Let's go, 60%. Boom, you hit your 5 doubles, 60%. Done with that. Come in, you hit your sets of 4. RPE, what do we say, 8? Now you're going to get a little bit of fatigue generation from that, right? And then the final day of the week, you're literally hitting 5 singles. Again, you're doing SBD, so you're doing 5 singles at, what did I miss, 50%? Something like that. You're just practicing. You're just moving, right? Maybe you make it a little heavier, maybe 55, maybe 60%. And what you'll start to notice is, like, one, you should not just start doing that. You got to, you got to do, like, the first stuff first, right? Get through all of that. And then 2, you can add that stuff in later. And as you get closer to a meet, maybe the reps come down. Maybe the percentages go up. That's just like one example. But basically, it's easy, extremely light work on some of the days. And you're not really taxing the body that much. Right? So I know it sounds extreme. When people hear 6 times a week, oh my God, they're thinking they're hitting their, one of your normal training days. It really just depends. Imagine you have a 3x8 on squat, RPE 7. Split that in half. 3x4, 3x4, RPE 7. Split it in half. You have it on a Monday and a Friday, right? Or, okay, make it RPE. No, I don't want the RPE lower if you're doing that, right? So imagine you're taking your program, you're taking your something relative to what you do, and you're dividing it up and you're spreading it out amongst the week. You have your low rep work with low percentage in there for practice, and you're firing, on all cylinders. Now, some reasons why you might not want to do this, and why I promise you most people don't do this, it's just not practical. You're going to literally have to focus your day, your life around that. And Agatha did say in her post that that's all she does. She literally is an example of somebody who takes lifting like to the extreme. Like that is all she does. She doesn't do anything else, right? So, I mean, I'm just going based off her post. She might do something else. I don't know. But that's what she said. And it shows in her results. Crazy results for Sheffield. Honestly, the first Sheffield, I thought, like, the girls just keep impressing me more and more. I thought what Evie did was, like, insane. And then turn around and Agatha, like, arguably tops that or does something just as impressive. And it's like, what is happening? What is going on right now? You know, and those are extraordinary results. Those are results that are not normal. Those are results that the average lifter who just looks at something and goes, I want to do that, I want to get into that, they are not willing to do that. I promise you, they are not willing to do that. They are not willing to give up what they need to give up in order to get those results. Agatha also lives in a different country. It's very different, you know. We're very distracted here in the States. We got a lot going on. And that is just an example of somebody who is doing something to an extreme, getting an extreme result, doing something very extreme that they worked up to over years. Now, she's very young, so she's going to be hyper durable, right? She's going to be super, super, super durable. So she's going to be able to, like, do that. And she has very good form. Her sumo looks extremely natural. Her squats look nice. And her bench is very technical. So she's going to be able to hit all these lifts, you know, and do all those things in that type of way. And at this point, any weight class that she can make, if she can make the weight, I think she could be a threat, or she would at least, you know, keep them on their toes, right? So sky's the limit for her. I think at 69, she's, like, insane. 76 is a possibility also. I think she's done 63 before, so, like, you know, she's a beast. And that's, like I said, if you have someone, you know, you might be seeing this and you say, you know, oh, well, I can't do that. I can't dedicate my life that much to lifting like that. And that's okay, because I promise you, most lifters are getting good results and they're not doing that. So you're okay there. And you could argue, this is important, you could argue that the benefit she's getting from those extra days is, like, extremely minimal. Like, maybe she's getting, like, 95% of her training from the initial 3 days that I told you guys about. And then she's just capping off that extra 5 with those technical days. Now, I could be wrong, and she might be taking a heavy singles or doubles, whatever, before, and then the next day coming in hitting a 3x8, right? Like I said, I could get very complicated with it. You just have to, whenever you're making a program, you need to keep in mind what's up with the recovery. How is the lifter going to recover? How are they going to react to what it is that you have them do? But yeah, that's pretty much it. So when you dissect it, when you look at it, it makes more sense. It's not like, oh shit, she's just hitting sets of 10 every day. You know what I mean? But yeah, I thought it was an interesting topic. I wanted to get a video done, and I was originally going to do it in my office, I guess you could call it. But I was like, you know, it's a nice day out. Let's get outside. Let's get the steps in. It could give me an excuse to have another 100 carbs, right? I'm sorry, 100 calories of carbs. But yeah, that's it, guys. I hope you found this at least somewhat educational or somewhat entertaining, at the very least. If you guys have any questions, any topics you want me to cover, let me know in the comments down below. If you're interested in a workshop, let me know in the comments down below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.